Hey, thanks for checking in. My camera's on my dash cam and I'm looking at the gas prices. It is, let me see, right now it is Monday, March 2nd. Let me see, I'll show, yeah, Monday, March 2nd. What is it, 3 days into World War III, and I was just driving around running some last minute errands for my work, and I'm looking at the gas prices. So just 3 days ago, that gas price right there for unleaded, I don't use diesel. If you want to leave in the comments below if you use diesel and what your gas prices are, where you're at. Because this is crazy. I've seen gas prices fluctuate. Couple 20 cents here and there. It was $2.39 3 days ago. And so I just wanted to make this little video because I was finishing my errands for tonight, and I'm like, holy cow, all the people that voted for Trump, thank you. I'm being sarcastic in a sense, right? Because put this back on the mount. Sorry if that was a big clip. I'll try to clip that out. I'll try to edit that audio if it's a huge clip. But my camera clipped back onto the magnetic mount. I'm trying to get that situated. But yeah, it's just making me think about all the crazy things, all the ramifications, like 239, 49, 59, 69, 79, 50 cents higher in 3 days per gallon. Oh, I wanted to say, so I said 50 cents, 239, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 60 cents. So I made a computational error because I'm unscripted, and I was just like, 60 cents. Yeah, let me do that again. 39, wait, yeah, 239, 49, 59, 69, 79, 89, 99, 60 cents. Anyway, so if you hear me say 50 cents and do the equations, it's even higher than like $10 a tank. Yeah, so I just want to correct that real quick. Cool. On to the video. So what is that going to do to the rest of the supply chain, right? Like, how long are we going to tolerate this? Is this a necessary war? Is this the necessary thing we're doing? I never really thought about like political consequences. I thought about political consequences, but I've never thought about how they actually reach us as individuals out here trying to make a living, trying to have a life, trying to be, functional, good for ourselves, therefore good for other people. And do we really need this? Do we really need, and I personally am not a big materialistic, I'm not into materialism. I live very minimally, I'm an extreme minimalist. I have my essential art supplies. I have my essential tools. I do service work for people as a independent, corporate and personal tasker for property owners. Some handyman work, a lot of delivery jobs, interstate delivery jobs, along with my artwork, which I've been doing all my life. And, so it's a little bit easier for me to bear the blow of something like this. It's not like easy. It's not like paradise, but you know, it's like I already am very conservative with how I spend my money. And, but I'm thinking about all the people who are, you know, dealing with this, you know? And like, look, like every vehicle that's passing on the road right now is dealing with a 50% at least price hike in 3 days. So I wanted to make this video to kind of just document, you know, because I've never felt the compulsion, the urge to make a historical like record, you know, to oh, I'm actually experiencing history. I don't mean like in a general sense. Obviously, I know you know, we're always experiencing history on some level, but like this is the first time that like something in the news within 3 days is visible, you know, like right there, like right where we can feel it. Everyone, you know, it doesn't matter what ethnic group you are, it doesn't matter what religious group you are, it doesn't matter what gender you are or not. It doesn't matter where you know, anywhere you live that you rely on fuel. And it's easy to think, oh, I have an electric vehicle, I have this, I'm off grid. No, you're not. No, you're not. Right now I'm working in Amish country. You don't see the carriages on the road, but every once in a while I'll actually see a carriage, you know, going up and down the highway. And even the Amish people are on the grid. Even the Amish people deal with regular folk. You know, I've driven like countless jobs. I drive Amish people. You know, that's one of my side gigs because you know, a lot of the people that I work with, they know Amish people. I've met a lot of Amish people. I've been like in a bank and like been delayed because there's like 20 Amish people depositing their cash in the checking account, in their checking accounts. I've had I've helped some people with some garage sales out here, and 90% of the buyers in certain areas are Amish people, and they're paying with either cash or they're paying with check. And so, and I see Amish people at all the stores, you know, so Amish people are not even off the grid, you know? And so like no one is off the grid. I mean, I'm using Amish people because they just sort of like completely like destroy the argument that if I have an electric vehicle or I use solar, you know, well, where are you gonna get your solar panels at? You know, all the Amazon delivery, like one of my earlier poems, like when I started working in this area about a year ago, was about like the number of Amazon trucks that I see driving through all these like homestead rural, you know, roads. You know, it's like, anyway, so yeah, it's just, this isn't to like shock anyone or, you know, to be negative about anything. It's mainly just to like bring attention to who was voted in. And regardless of who was voted in, you know, this could have happened under either one. And I'm not a one wing of one crazy bird person. I get it, the two wings of the same bird, you know, but I've had to deal with a lot of Trump voters in the last, I don't know, what is it, 12 years, you know? And this is just getting, it would be one thing if Trump voters I knew said, hey, you know, this is what's going on, this is ridiculous, we voted in a very, you know, I feel differently about my vote, but I'm not hearing that. And I just, you know, not that I need that, but I felt, okay, you know, I was finishing these errands and I'm like, I just want to make this video documenting. I might do this regular because I don't know how high it's going to get. You know, I don't know if by the middle of the year that's going to be like, could it be $29? Could it be $299? Like this, it's just a decimal place. Look how they're keeping it right. Look how they're keeping it right at 99.9. Look at that. Look at that. When, because that's gonna, like, that's right, that's $3. Now, I know this is in California, you know? I mean, I know there's places where it's already been like $5 or $6, maybe more for a number of years. I don't even want to think about what it's like in California right now. Is it, what, $20 a gallon? You know? Um, that's why, you know, if you want to leave your comments, leave in the comments like what gas prices are where you're at. If you want to put where you're at, um, right now I'm around, let me see, I always have to say never eat shredded wheat, the American school system, like the West Tennessee area. And this is like crazy because it's just gone up. Like that's the most drastic increase I've ever seen in gas ever in my life. Like as a professional driver and delivery person, supply, you know, runner, property inspector, investigator, field inspector, field investigator, um, driver for, you know, personal driver, transporter. This is the first time in 3 days I've seen fuel go up 50 cents per gallon. You know, so what is that? If your tank is $20, that's an extra, yeah, $10, right? Yeah, if I take 50 cents times 20, that's $10, an extra $10. So every vehicle, look at all those vehicles, you know, and we're all paying this. So anyway, that's it. You know, I just wanted to make a little World War III commentary. Day 3, World War III. Where are you at? What are you noticing? You know, because I think that would be good. I think that would be good if we all started conversing and paying attention about how we're actually affected. And I'm not trying to imply that we're not affected by other laws and other things they do. I'm talking about on such a large scale. On such a large scale that everyone can get behind. This is not a racial issue. This is not a gender issue. This is not a religious issue. This is an all of us issue. And I think the more that we pay attention, not that any one of us have any power. I am not convinced anymore that we have any power directly over who is influencing us right now, who's really in charge of what's going on. But I do feel that the first step to addressing, maybe if we can't solve a problem, we can address a problem and we can find workarounds to a problem. But the first step that I've learned in my professional years has been, you have to notice things. You have to pay attention to changes and shock points and leakages and wastes, you know, points of failure, sudden shifts, sudden collapses, when something catastrophically fails, or there's a sudden unexpected turn of events in a system that you're monitoring. Like when you want to address a problem, like when I'm working on my vehicles, you have to put certain meters on your vehicle, compression testing, and like voltage testing and spark timing testing. And you have to look at the system to see when you do a certain thing, when does it spike up or spike down, or when does the engine die? You pull a wire off, or you put a wire on, or you reverse polarities or something. And then you note, like, does it fail at that point? Not reverse polarities, but sometimes a polarity is reversed, and you change the polarity back and it works right. But that's an example of like observing critical failure points. And this is a massive failure point in political decision making, because I am now convinced that the person who is running the show, or whoever's running the show, I'm not really convinced that one person is running the show, but the person who is acting as if they're running the show, one thing that I am completely convinced of, that before they decided to do this on February 28th, 2026, they never even thought of us and the fact that now you're going to be paying at least an extra $10 a gallon in 3 days after their decision. So yeah, I'm not pissed about it. I'm not angry. I'm just noting, you know what I mean? I'm just observing. Like if you're from a, you know, crazy family, or you've dealt with crazy people in your life, some of the things you have to first start doing is observing what is happening after they do stuff that they've claimed they're thinking or teetering on the fence. A lot of times there's, you know, someone's like, oh, I'm if you do this, I'm thinking about doing this. And you just kind of sit back and you patiently watch. And suddenly they do something and you watch the consequences. And right now I'm just taking this as an opportunity to watch the consequences. And this is just right there in front of us. That's why I'm making this video. So because you have gas prices somewhere in your life, even if you don't drive, you can still report if you want to leave comments about what you're seeing in stores. If you saw a sudden increase in a certain type of item that you buy on a regular basis, what has it gone up to? Because that's the problem with this. This is going to affect everything. That's the problem with this. This is the first sign of everything else going up, because whether you ride the bus, whether you ride a bicycle, where do you get your bicycle parts? You know, where do you buy your Mac laptop at? You know, whatever, you know, like Amazon shipping, Amazon prices, all the suppliers that supply to Amazon, you know, all the groceries, you know, suppliers, all the, oh, I'm a vegan, I'm off the grid, you know, whatever. It's like, where do you get your cereal from? Where, you know, who ships the grain? You know, who ships the grain from the farm to the processing facility, you know, and all the suppliers to the processing facility. I mean, they all see all these little lights on the road. They all use this stuff right there. And so, yeah, like that, this is big, because this is just one little zip code in a country full of, how many zip codes? I'm gonna have to look that up. I'll look this up after I finish this video. But yeah, wherever you're at, I would love to hear in the comments like what you are noticing. Right now I'm noticing gas, but you could be noticing cereal, cosmetics, meat, you know, kitchen supplies, Amazon purchases, whatever. And I just thought this would be cool just to document. I don't know if I'm going to be making one of these every day. I mean, now I'm going to be looking at these every day and just seeing, where is it at? Where is it at? Where is it at? Yeah, that's it. I hope you're feeling appreciated by everyone around you, all the furry creatures, all your friends, your family, but most importantly, I hope you are feeling appreciation for everyone around you, because that's really what it's all about. And if you're one of the people that has bought me a coffee, thank you so much from the heights of my heart. I cannot tell you how much it means to actually feel supported for what I do, because I certainly support you and what you do. Hope to see you on the next video. Bye now.